see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause the limit is the sky. Told you once, told you twice, that we only got one life. Stay up. Got to stay so young.
Okay, so I want to welcome everybody for like super casual conversation. This is the first time we're getting together. We've been encouraging each other. We met through the Easy Way Network. So props to the Zuli family, Eric Zuli, Jane Zuli, and we actually met on Will Perfect's The Perfect Zone podcast. So
yes,
welcome my sister. And this is like our first conversation. So I'm Kat Oshman because she has people, she's tuning in from South Africa and I am in California. So I think it's important that we introduce each other. We're coming together for a quick introduction. We're going to talk a little bit about culture, women empowerment, and sisterhood and collaboration. So I am Kat Oshman. I'm a swimwear designer and confidence catalyst out of California, USA. And my sister, who I promise I won't butcher her name. So you have to say it very slowly.
All right. Thank you so much, Kate. Hi, this is Ntsiki Ncoco. My name means blessings. Then shortly, I'm well known by Ntsiki. And the easy way, like Eric Zule, just goes NTS. That's the easy way. The surname is Ncoco. I'm from South Africa. I was born in the Eastern Cape in Somerset East. I am from Uitenhage and I'm between Johannesburg and Uitenhage. A lot of people know Johannesburg, but I must say my hometown is the best because it's close to the ocean. Uitenhage is now called Kariga. So Kariga is close to Port Elizabeth, which is known as Gqeberha now. How is that for you? The click.
I love that. I think you have such beautiful energy. You're so beautiful. So I'm so excited to be having this conversation with you. Now, please say your first name slowly again so I can pronounce it because I know Eric calls you NTS and that's cool, but I want to respect like your beautiful name. So say it so I can try to pronounce it.
Okay. It starts with the N.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit the N, you will flow with it.
Okay.
You see your tongue on your palate? Lift your tongue.
Okay.
Your palate. Ntsiki.
Ntsiki.
Ah, you see?
Ntsiki.
Now do it quicker, Ntsiki.
Ntsiki.
Ntsiki. You're the best.
Yes.
I raise a flag for you. I raise a flag for you.
Okay. Let me try again. Ntsiki. Ntsiki.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Your last name.
The last name is, again, another click, NC. You know, like a sound of a watch when it goes, but now the vowel goes up because it's an O. So you'll go, no, because there's an N in the beginning. And then at the end, there's a C, but you don't spell the C, but you just say it out. Ncoco.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ncoco. Like that?
Ncoco.
Ncoco.
You're close, man.
I gotta practice that one.
It doesn't matter. People just Ncoco me. I just say sometimes, what's in a name? The most important thing is that I'm here with you now.
Yeah.
And actually, by the way, you know, when I meet a sister, my love language is, you know, hugs. So I'd love to hug you.
Same.
I like to hug you.
That's why I call you, I call you sister because I think that we're all sisters, right? Like, so it doesn't matter where we come from. It's morning for us in California. I'm having coffee. I think you already had dinner because it's 8:30 your time. And I love just learning about new culture, but you are so amazing. Like you have businesses you've built, you've started businesses. I see you launched like a new book. But before we get into all that, I want to dive deeper into where you're from. Like, what was it like growing up? So, were you born in South Africa?
Yes, I was born in South Africa in
Okay.
Somerset East. It's called in our language the Xhosa. I'm from the Xhosa clan. So in our language, the city where I was born is called Nojoli. So I was born Kwa Nojoli, referring to the city. And the amazing thing that I like about me, I always brag about when I meet people and just share with sisterhood, is that I was born in my grandparents' bedroom, not in the
Wow.
hospital. Yes, I'm authentic. I was born in
Truly authentic.
authentic. I was born in the main bedroom of my grandparents, and I was born with covered with my placenta. So they had to tear apart the placenta, and then there was the baby.
Wow.
And then my grandfather named me then after her daughter. So my name is my aunt's daughter, my father's sister, who I've never even lived to see because she passed away when I was still young. And my father was a pastor. So he grew up in the township, but the life that he lived, that we also had to live, that life is a mixed life that I treasure. I love that life of a rural area. So when he started ministry from college, he was then placed in a rural area, from township to rural environment. And he adapted, well. My mom was young. When I have to say this, I don't want to be emotional. My mom was an orphan, but she grew up in a very lovely family where her grandmother left her with that family.
Mhm.
But, when I follow her love life, that she adapted so well to that environment that she also raised us to be strong girls. We're all girls, a lot of girls at home, all girls. And then the two brothers were two younger brothers. After a 7-year gap between myself and my youngest sister, the last born of the girls at home. So we grew up in that environment. What I love the most about it is that we know both lives, the township life, the urban life, and the rural area life. I can I can fetch water from the river and carry the bucket on my head. I can do my laundry in the river. I can paint the house with with mud and beautiful painting. I can do the floor of the house with cow dung. It's beautiful. The smell. So in our classrooms, we used to do that. And the most thing that I took from there was the traditional dance. And hence I love my traditional wear. My first love is my African wear. So I love it. I love to showcase my African wear in any way I can.
What is the dance called?
There?
You said the dance, your African dance, or your African ways?
Yeah, yeah, the African dance, the real African dance. When we dance and wear the African beads and the African wear and dance and in a way that we rehearse the dance
Hmm.
and then we can come and dance and entertain, tourists. I learned that in primary. Then when I came to a school in my junior secondary school, I came to the township now. And then I taught others how to dance. I was so excited about this. So I taught them break time, I will be behind classes and I'll teach them how to dance. And our Xhosa teacher was noticing. And then she organized us as a formal group. I tell you, we would dance. She would take us to Holiday Inn. When there are tourists in the city, would wear our African wear, and I would lead the dance. I would jump high. I tell you, when we meet, I'm gonna teach you and we dance.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I love African culture. I think it's so diverse, and
Wow.
the fashion, one of my favorite designers is actually in Africa, and their
Oh yeah.
textiles and the colors, it's just so amazing. Yeah, so I'm
I
always
remember
inspired
you
by that.
showed me. Mm-hmm. I remember you showed me when we met online. You showed me one kaftan that you said you did you get it from Africa or it was ordered in Africa for you?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I love their textiles. It's just so inspiring. What are one of the things that you wish you had growing up?
Other things I wished.
Yeah, like I don't know how convenient things are to get in South Africa. Like here, you just go to the store and you can find things. So, what are some of the things that you wished you had growing up, or
Oh
were things convenient?
no, not always. No, not always. I mean, doing primary school from sub A, we did sub and standards then, and then we used to walk barefoot. We used to walk a distance from home to the school. So, you know what I wish for was that we could have, cars like taxis are here today are taking, kids to school, but our parents had to, my father had to go and work somewhere, and then my mom would be home after preparing us for school, but we would have to walk such a long distance to school, carrying our bags on our
Mhm.
backs. If it's raining, we have to take off our shoes so that we save the shoes from the water, the rain, and put them in plastic and put them in our bags and then walk. But other kids were walking far longer distance
Mhm.
than, from my home to school. And other things we wish for, at least at home we had things like toys,
Mhm.
It was not really a bad situation. We grew up in an environment where parents could, afford what they could afford as basics. But one would wish, like, what I wished was to be in a designing school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dream was to be a fashion designer. In so much that at that time when I was young, I would draw dresses, I would draw dolls with dresses, and I would draw shoes. Every time if I talk to someone, I draw. I use my hands a lot. You see, even
Mhm.
now. I can't just with my hands. It's just in me. So if I'm in a meeting, I'm talking, I'm drawing something. There's an idea. As I'm listening, I'm drawing. I draw the idea. I draw the thoughts or a building, whatever. I just draw. I just draw. So I really wished I was a fashion designer. I loved singing. We grew up in a singing family. I loved dancing. I wanted to do formal dancing as well. I mean, other kids could dance. There was a formal dance, school when we were in the area now, in the urban area. But for some reason, some of the things that held me back in other things that I wished to be
Mhm.
was you can't do this because you are this, you're a Christian, your religion. Really, some of the things, the gifts in me were channeled in a way that if I would do it them the other way, it would be like I'm not a Christian. So I've realized the things that were bottleneck
Mhm.
that for me today, I would wish other people who are gifted, with talents, just raw talents could be groomed in a way that they can be who God created them to be. I'm so blessed that I grew up in a family, praying family, religious family, Christians, believers. That's what is in me. That's
Mhm.
what makes me really. That's my bottom line.
I love that. You radiate sunshine, and I could totally see it. It's it. I definitely agree with what you said with other people kind of putting a little bit of like limitations, and those limitations of what you should and shouldn't do translates to us and our negative self-talk with our limiting beliefs. That's what I've learned, like in my journey with just learning about people, learning about myself. And, it's not about what we want, like even with our children, right? Like as parents, we always have this vision for our kids, but then you learn, like, you know what? God put something else in them that we need to embrace and encourage to come out, because you never know what amazing things they're going to do with their lives and the impact that they make by encouraging that.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate, to be authentic, to be real and original, and to instead develop the gift in a moral way. Of course, the bottom line is moral standards, but to do it in a moral way. But amazingly, the beauty in what I wished to be a fashion designer then, my daughter picked it up naturally. That's what she picked up, and that's who she is now. She's, a rising fashion designer. She's doing beautiful thing, clothing line and all that. So at least I made sure that what I desired, I would allow my child to be free, to choose freely, and not even be scared to discuss with me what she wants to be and think I'm going to say, no, 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 you can't do that. Or I just shut down I just said, choose what you want to be and to be. Because I realized when I did that, I don't tell her to wake up early in the morning. The edge in her, she jumps up because it's what she wants to do, and it's what encourages her passion, it drives you. Yeah. So I wish we had that before, but anyway, our parents did what they could do. They did their best. So we have to pick up from their best and do the better.
Absolutely. And your daughter, Paloma, has such a beautiful, inspiration from her mom. You're so motivated. So I think it only comes very naturally in her blood. So growing up, and I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, Eric. I just saw your comment. He's sharing it with the Easy Way family.
Wow, really?
So we want to say hi to the whole Easy Way family. And if you guys have questions for us, please put it in the chat. We will happy to engage. Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. We have Kimberly, Carlos, Katrina.
Oh, wow.
Rachel, Alan, Veritas.
Let the sisterhood come. Let the sisterhood come.
So we have a bunch of Californians joining us, and then hopefully, on our replay, we're going to get so many more views as well. So
yes, that would be awesome.
What motivated, like, you are so inspiring, and I love your origin story of how you grew up. You had to walk to school. How far did you have to walk?
Wow. Honestly, I'm trying to, it was more than 10 kilometers. I tell you, it was more than 10 kilometers.
One way?
That. It
one
is
way?
one way to school and back. But the amazing thing about us then, we were so physically involved in sports at school, physically involved. I remember very well, there would be periods, we call them periods, classes, different classes. There'll be a period for, we called it PT. It was physical training. So PT really, and playing netball. When it's break time, we were not on phones. Break time. We were out under the trees playing ball, jumping, all games that were engaging us energetically and physically, and jumping up high, and playing sports. It was the most important thing, beautiful thing. So I think that made us to be strong and not to even feel the distances when we walk. There are children, I promise you, who walked double or even more that distance a
Wow.
day, to and fro, but they'll be on time at school.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And yeah, I mean, that's what they had to do, right?
Yeah, we did what we had to do. I mean, sometimes it would be raining, but we'll have raincoats. Others wouldn't, other families were not even affording the raincoats. We
Mhm,
had raincoats, we had rain shoes because our parents could afford.
mhm.
I mean, that as much as we were many, but not all children afforded that.
Right, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Yeah.
And what did your dad do for a living, for work?
My
Your dad, what did he do for work? So,
Oh, my father. Oh, okay. My father was a pastor, a
oh,
pastor in the church, and then after that, he not left completely the ministry. Something happened. The mission house burned down, so he had to find other ways and means of living for us because we had no home and
mhm,
we had to live with other people. So he had to move on and find a way to live. So after that, then he became a salesman at a furniture store, Dennis store. Then from there, he studied. My father loved studying. He studied, to how to be a watch mechanic. He was a car mechanic, and then finally he studied being a homeopathic doctor, homeopathy and naturopathy. So that's how then he grew up his career in that area of health.
very cool. So,
Yeah.
where and when did you see opportunities for everything you're doing? Like, you have a resume this long with
Ah,
businesses that you're doing. Like, it's very inspiring. So, share that journey.
oh, thanks for that, Kat. It's a journey, actually. It's a journey. It has been an adventure. You see, the years, I'm not very young. I've crossed the golden lane already beyond 50. So hence I'm a queen. So,
Well,
so
you look amazing, no matter what golden. I mean, we're all young at heart, and I could see you're young at heart. So, age doesn't
yeah.
matter, honestly. Oh, we lost your sound. Okay, now we're back.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks for that. I'm saying it's a journey, honestly. Like I started on a very humble beginnings of being a typist. From high school, I went to varsity. I did my BSc in, degree. So that was my first degree in science, towards the goals of, medical profession. But then I'm scared of blood. And then I diverted. That was my father's desire, actually. Let me be honest with you. It was not my desire. Mine was to be a fashion designer. I love fashion. I love to look good. I love to dress other people good, and I love to see people dressed up nicely. So that was my desire that I did not portray to my parents and say it out loud. We
Mm.
grew up in an environment where we couldn't just, you'll be channeled in why my father desired that I'll be a medical doctor. He didn't ask if I not scared of blood first. So that area. But the amazing thing, that was quite in an experience when we're dissecting in the BSc first year. I would dissect a rat, I would dissect squalus, I would dissect a frog as is on the book. And nicely so, I wouldn't even cut the veins, so that blood would be, spilling on the animal or on the species. But not with human beings, darling. Not with human beings. No, no, no. Then, if then I knew about the career of in the medical field of a vet, I could have done that one. But then I took a gap here. I left home and I visited my sister And then there in Port Elizabeth, where we are now, I then studied a secretarial diploma so that I can have something to start on as I'm thinking, which degree am I really going to follow?
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of gap year feeling where, how, where am I really fitting? What is my passion? What is my purpose? Then I really did the diploma. I finished it in 1 year. And by the end, and then I got a call. My elder sister was working at the university and called me. There's an opportunity here. There's a post vacant for a typist. So come for an interview. I went for an interview, finished the diploma in November, December interview, 2nd January, I'm at work typing. Da, 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 da.
Very cool.
So yeah, so that's where I wanted to say that is what I respect the most, the humble beginnings, because everything else started from there, from the typist. That was a young typist at the university, grew up the years and building up that. And then I started now studying at the same university. We're given such a beautiful opportunity to study when you are an employee, and then you pay just a registration fee as a benefit. So I took the opportunity. Daytime, I'm in the office working. At night, I'm in the lecture room. So I did the BCom in education. Now, all this journey, fast track, it builds up in the education field and the economics that I loved so much. The economics brought us together now, that this is a global trade that, I really wished when I was doing that. I loved that part of trading when we're doing economics, and the education part that I really, when I was doing education, when we do curriculum studies, I saw myself always in front of people, and a lot of people talking to them. I would have those visions. They came alive. They came alive through the education part.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's the
truly.
journey. Yeah.
That is beautiful. I love that. And I know there's so much more in between.
Yes.
Let me see if there's any questions.
Wow, I love that we're on the Easy Way, because I'm the Easy Way International Affiliate Ambassador, and I'd love to serve the Easy Way family the best I
Yes.
could. Yes.
So share a little bit about, you're an Easy Way affiliate member. What do you do? You're an Easy Way affiliate member for South Africa, international, all over the world, right?
International, the beauty of the journey of the global networks, it allows me to share about the Easy Way family and the network and the platform and the great value and the offer of our platform globally, because it's online. And physically for you guys, I feel like, ooh, if I can be there with you when you were on the event last time, it's like, ooh, this is my kind of, vibe. Anyway, at least I catch it online, and it's amazing that I share it with people that I can see they will get the value out of our platform,
Yeah.
especially the podcasters, people in the media space, and people who are the NGOs who are doing this great global work around the globe. So I've shared, and I know positively some are promising they're signed up. We'll be having a Zoom soon, just with people to know more about the Easy Way, and Eric will come and just do the presentation. And the beauty of the CRM within that Easy Way network is all in one. That's the most amazing thing, again, the offering for me.
Right. But yeah, that is an amazing system. I think it's great that you're an ambassador, and it just goes to show, right, like how we met through the Easy Way family, through Will's podcast, Will Perfect's podcast. And it's such a small world. We just had a gold carpet event for Jason's band this past weekend. That was such a success. He's going to do it again. Details to follow. And you're basically with us live. It's like 3 a.m, and you're joining us. which is amazing. And we can come together. Like, this is a perfect time. It's 11 o'clock California. It's 9 o'clock South Africa.
Yeah, this is the perfect time.
Plus, you don't go to sleep. You message me at, I don't know what time you and I were messaging each other, but when I added Johannesburg to my world time zone, so I know when we're messaging each other. And you don't sleep, I don't sleep. Like, we're always chatting.
Yeah.
But our first Zoom conversation, and thank you.
Yes, it's awesome. I love this, you know. Yeah, I love this. I think it's growing into, you know, something that I desired to have, you know, the global sisterhood on fire, just online, have our podcast, we come together, we share the ideas together. You are in a other world and another field, but the entrepreneurship world and networking and networks, it puts us together anyway. That's how we also came across writing the book together from the World Women Conference and Awards. And that's the NGO. So from that platform, there were awards last year were nominated, and then the journey of the book, it started then from the awards last year. Yes. So we took the journey further. Something starts, and then from there, there's a next step to it. There's a next step to it. I mean, from the book and from other podcasts, there are so many that are lined up for me, honestly.
That's great.
Anyway, a shout out to Kat Oshman. She's with me right now, my sister. You know, you woke me up in the morning. It was 5 a.m. in the morning. And I said, I'm not missing this one. I'm not missing this person. Something, you know, the first
on the podcast. Yes. So tell me about when I was on Will Perfect's podcast, because that was that the first time you tuned in to the podcast?
Yes, that was,
perfect. So every time I say perfect, I think of Will, which his name's Will Perfect. And I was the third guest on his podcast, and now he's booked out till September. Like, he's doing amazing. So tell me about when you heard me on that podcast and why you wanted to join.
When I heard you on the podcast, and I followed you. You know, sometimes you look at someone. I followed your live, you know, clips and reels on Instagram as well. And then I just wanted to know, when you're an ambassador of a platform organization like this. So I wanted to see what's going to come up on the podcast. How should I serve, the do's and the don'ts, you know, behind scenes. I'm checking who's who as well in the game. And it's like, wow, I found out she's the one who designed that yellow bathing costume for the famous tennis player. Wow, oh my goodness. But she looks so, you know, so humble, cute, and you know, in your videos, you're so beautiful. And also I want to learn from others who are doing this and who are doing podcasts, and how you speak on a podcast, how you interview people, how you are a guest. So I'm always learning. So I wanted to learn and said, I'm not going to miss it. And I looked at the time, 5 a.m. my time. Okay, let me wake up and connect. That's 5 a.m. for prayer anyway. Or sometimes I'm online. Anyway, I have my sister in the US. So sometimes she keeps me up on the phone. We chat, we pray, you know, we talk about everything together. So I'm going to join this one and listen. Wow, what an amazing voice. You know, it just draws you, the charisma draws you to you, and the respect for each other when you just, you know. And the amazing thing, again, what I liked about you in the podcast, when you were speaking about your mom, she inspired you.
Right.
And it was like amazing, amazing, you know. So it was good.
Oh,
I
thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. And I did feel your heart, like, after you and I started messaging after that podcast. And that's where the friendship and the sisterhood started. So,
Yeah.
you never know, you know, it's a matter of connecting, reaching out to
Yeah.
people, what transpires, because we're in the space of like, we can talk business and whatnot, but at the end of the day, for me, it's about people. It's about
Yeah.
love. It's about, you know, meeting people where they are and
Yeah.
creating more of that bond and unity versus so many reasons to create divisiveness. Like I think there's so much of that in the world, that energy that we need to keep spreading the positive energy if that is truly what is inside of you, right? Like let it
Yeah.
out. And that's what we have. Love the Easy Way family. We
Yes.
have a few more people joining. So,
Wow,
but
that's awesome.
I know we said this was a teaser and we have so much
Yeah.
to talk about again. We're going to circle back again, but tell
Yeah.
everybody what you're excited about and what projects you have going on.
All right. First of all, you know what I'm excited about is my bio. And I put it this way, my bio, as I built it up, it's my bold inspirational offering to the globe. So it's not really about me. When you see all that, that's about my servanthood to the world. And the reason I'm on this earth is to love. I always lead my life the way I put it is like a car. The C stands for caring for me so that I can be able to care for others and to care for God's ways in my life. And then the A is about admiring myself first so I can admire others as well and admire everything that God has put along my purpose. And then the R is the respect, that I respect myself first, respect others, and then I can respect everything around me. Then I can respect my networks as well and respect what I am about on earth. My why on earth is about power to lead with integrity, of
Mhm.
which that is it came to be the name of my company and my foundation. That I would love to leave that message and that legacy of leading with integrity. And that's a baton, whatever. My pronunciation, my sometimes I learned through Bantu education. So my daughter sometimes always correct me. So it can be a baton, whatever it is.
I say baton. I say pass the baton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the baton then is what I want to leave as the integrity. Integrity, just doing the rights. We all have the rights according to our activism as social justice activists, all of us on the world, but just to do the rights all the time. Leadership is about leading me personally first the right way so that it can inspire and someone else can be influenced by who I am and how I lead. So that's my goal. And my goal, in a nutshell, is to raise the bar to love and live and lead with integrity.
Love it.
Thank
Love
you.
it so much. One of the things that I like to talk about is influence or impact. And
Mhm.
now, especially with social media, we talk about influencers. And for me, the difference between influencer and somebody making an impact is an influencer is actively influencing you in your life, whether it's through social media or somebody real life, like motivating you, they're influencing you. But impact is some, you know, your junior high school teacher could have made an impact in your life and you're still living from that like aha moment in your life from way back when, and it made an impact in your life versus actively influencing. So I think it's important as leaders to have both, right? Like we're influencing the way people think as thought leaders, as for girls growing up as women, as moms, to encourage, like, become who you want to become, and to find your worth in your creator and not in your critics, to constantly influence people in a very positive way so that we can make that impact in their life and say, because of you, I'm doing this. Yeah.
Amazing. And my first calling anyway on earth, beyond what you see there as power to lead with integrity, my first calling really is, to serve in ministry and to serve God. I serve in the ministry, and amazingly so, my head office is in California, in Silicon Valley. So I serve in a global ministry that is the IRN, it's International Reformers Network. We came together. They came to South Africa a long time ago, 2016, when we first met. So my foundation, as it is is a ministry on its own. The foundation is a ministry, but I do not put the scriptures there so that everybody can fit in and to lead by the example so that people can believe and see the God in us. People should see the God in us first, and not we tell them about it and they don't see that our actions are about God. So the beauty of the Power to Lead with Integrity Foundation is that it's an anointed NGO that is under a ministry of International Network, a Reformers Network, of which it is, they take me as an apostle in the marketplace, where I believe all of us are ministers wherever we are. We are missionaries because we should be spreading the good news and the good acts wherever we are. And we should be representing God wherever we are. And all of us, if we are believers, our basis should be prayer. My energy and my strength is based on prayer life. That's how I manage everything. That's how everything is built up in my journey of life. And that's how I would love to be remembered as a missionary on earth, beyond any other title, the position, but to be a missionary and a believer and a child of God. That's who I am.
Beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
This has been so much fun. Thank you for your time. And I don't know if you have any questions for me, but we've been chatting back and forth.
Yes, absolutely. I do, Anyway, let me just share my quote before I ask you, what I felt like. Just like sisters, I want to know you more. My quote is this. I'll give you the other one at the end. This is how I love to journey on to journal things. Your heart is your strength to take charge of your life. Your positive mindset is your power to focus on your purpose. Only you can do it. That's from me to the world, for each and every one. But thank you so much, Kate. I'd love to know what inspired you to be who you are today. Because honestly, I looked at you, your humbleness, your love, your openness as well. And beyond your accolades, I saw your accolades. I see where you rank in the fashion industry. What inspired you? And how did you make it up to that? Just, the snapshots of the journey.
Yeah, I thank you for asking that. I'll give you snapshots. So for me, it is beyond the accolades. And I did work very, very hard to get to where I am, in the fashion industry. But taking it back, growing up, I just felt like I was always different. I was an only child for many, many years. My brother and I are 12 years apart. So it's the two of us. So I was 12 and then he was born. And I grew up with cousins. I was born in Hawaii. And my parents were born in the Philippines. So through all that, like they migrated to Hawaii as my grandfather worked in the plantations, you know, the pineapple fields and the plantations. But growing up, because I was one of the younger ones, it was always in observance. So I would observe my parents go to work, my cousins were much older. And I was probably pretty shy growing up, but there were moments of where I overcame that shyness. Like all of a sudden I was student of the month. And then I was like, wow, how did they choose me as the quiet one? And then I was chosen to be a princess, a Hawaiian princess. So that's my joke. I'm like, I'm a Hawaiian princess. I really am. So in the second grade, I was chosen to be a Hawaiian princess to walk. We have this parade like May Day, and then they have the queens that are like the sixth graders and whatnot. And Kimberly, who's online, she's also an island sister.
Yes, you say so. My island sister.
Kimberly's from Guam, but we all know, like we're all sisters. So, and coming out of my own skin, when I started getting into fashion and style, I knew I never liked trends. Like I didn't like things to be cliquey. I didn't want to be like everybody else. Like that was just so ingrained in me. So when we moved to California, actually my dad joined the Navy at an older age, and I didn't want to move. So I said, can I stay? Can I stay in Hawaii? Like with my aunt, and miraculously they were like, okay, sure, you can stay. So we lived with my aunt, with my other cousins, and my parents moved to California. And they let me live in Hawaii without them for a year. And then they said, okay, you have to move with us now. I'm like, all right, I guess I have to. But if I didn't make that move, of course, who knows where I would be. But my mom worked in textiles, and through that exposure with textiles, I was able to, you know, be interested in the fabrications, the colors, the trims. That's where I would spend my after school there. And through the shoppers that would come at the textile shop, there was a designer, his name was Randy, and he made these gorgeous couture dresses, and for wedding dresses, for pageants, just amazing couture. And even at an early age in junior high, I was blessed to have a custom dress through this amazing dress designer. He would measure me. I would co-design it with him. I would pick the fabrics. I'm like, I want it like this. I want it this short. I was like the seventh grader designing my own dresses. And that's honestly where it started. I was sketching. I've always been into art, started getting into fashion, and then naturally it progressed to design school. So that's how I ended up in design school. But even like after starting in the fashion industry, I just felt a little out of place, to be honest, because a lot of people in the fashion industry, no offense, but you know, they're very into the trends and superficial things and what you look like, what you're into. And I was never really like that. So I busted my butt, I kept working, and then I found my footing into designing women's swimwear. And who knew you can do so many things with small pieces of fabric? But I'm very creative. Like I love to drape on the mannequin. That's how I like to design. I'll sketch it out, but it's all about 3D. I'm like, things can look good on paper, but what does it look in real life? So I would drape on the mannequin, and sometimes it would look like dresses on there. And I would have colleagues say, you need to design dresses. I'm like, but I'm here designing swimwear. And my style, so I've learned, my style is on the sexier side. Like I love sexier swimwear, strappy suits, skimpier coverage, but I didn't always design, like I can't always design sexy suits because that is not the customer for certain brands that I designed for. So I had to learn, okay, what is it that women want? And through that, I had to converse with women. You know, women have so many different body shapes and sizes. And when you talk to women, I'm an empath, so I can easily feel and read people's energy and what they're feeling. So sometimes I will cry, like literally after meeting somebody, just because of tears of joy, or they tell me a sad story. But I'm not like one of those, I know how to curve my empath superpower. I feel like that's my superpower. But through that journey of learning about myself, being petite Filipino, shorter than, I'm not going to say how tall I am, but working with very tall models, tall salespeople, I always felt like the smallest one. So how do you engage in power and tell people what to do when you're this petite person in charge? So it's learning how to like curve that, not being so bullish, not being so powerful in the office, but soft. Like it's a whole balance. Learning about yourself and the women. So I think my confidence, especially after having a kid and I was going into 30, I was like, you know what, screw the insecurities about how I look, like everybody's different. And that truly started my journey of embracing individuality and encouraging, like I would never tell somebody to curve like their accent or how they act or how they laugh, like just embrace that. And that's what I love. And that's why I call myself like a confidence catalyst, because when I meet women and they find out that I'm a swimwear designer, they get really excited, because how often do you meet a fashion designer? But because it's swimwear, the next thing that normally comes out of their mouth is all the reasons why they cannot wear a swimsuit. Like they point out all their flaws, and then it turns into a mini therapy session. I'm always like, all right, hold on. Yes, you can wear that. Turn around, and I'm like body scanning. I'm like, this is why we make so many different sizes. Whether you're very petite, like a size 2, and you're in your 40s, or you're a size, double X or whatever, there's sizes for you. So there should be no reason why you feel uncomfortable, or tell me why you can't wear a swimsuit. Like we should be beyond that now. So I like to focus on beauty that starts from the inside. And I love having those conversations that just kind of spark that encouragement, spark the confidence in especially women, because we can be so hard on ourselves. So that's where we're at. That is my mission, to like be the confidence encourager for all women and to embrace like who we are, because there's so many more things that we can worry about, right? Like there's wage power gaps. There's women who aren't confident enough to ask for that raise or to tell somebody how they feel when they're in an uncomfortable situation. A lot of that starts from the inside, your self-esteem and your confidence. So that's where my heart is in working with people or communicating with people. And then all the fashion stuff, the red carpets, I love that. That's all great. But truly, when you get to know me, that's who Kat Oshman is.
Yeah. Wow, that's just amazing. Last time there was an event. Who was hosting the event, by the way? Please remind me. He's online right now. He was hosting the event that you had the last time.
Oh,
at the bar and grill. Yes,
Jason Span. Yes, that was his Expansion Rhythm and Business Network. That was a great event. We had a lot of celebrities come out, movie producers, show producers, podcasters. We had musicians, and then Paul Maselli. He co-hosted the event. He is a drummer and musician, and he also has his nonprofits. We had Will Perfect, Johnny Venucourt. Like I can't even. Kimberly was there. Kimberly is also another amazing woman that we would love to connect with. So many great events. Like, so before I forget,
Yes.
I'm going to post some links so that like whoever is watching this later can learn more about you, learn more about me, how to find me, and then also to join us on the Easy Way Wall of Fame, the Easy Way
Yes.
Network. So that is founded by Eric Zuley, and it is a media marketing company that does so many things. They cover events, they help you with your business and visibility. And we are launching the Easy Way app. So it's going to be like a Facebook where you can friend request, get connected with people, and message, post your events, post things that you're up to. So we are going to share that, and it's active now, but we are going into a whole new platform, and it looks amazing.
Amazing. Wow. I've connected with a lot of people already, and it's like, wow, really? Is this what I dreamed of and what I confessed and manifested? I wrote it down. It was in my Bible, and I lost that Bible. I bought another one and I wrote it down again, and I put it in the Bible again, that these are my declarations and manifestations. I lost the second one again, mysteriously so. But I said, anyway, these declarations are in my head and my heart. I am a global connector and a global networker. So I will connect no matter how. And I wrote a quote. I'll give you the quote after because I know we're going to close now. It's going to an hour. So we at least 1 hour is good for this. It's just a teaser and intro. So I've met already Will Perfect. I want to shout out to Will. First of all, Eric got on a Zoom with me. We had a beautiful session. And then when we have to meet again, he'll pull me to other events where he's going and say, okay, instead of meeting me alone here, come, I'm presenting in this event. I connect there. And I connected with others as well, connected with Eric Zule, connected with Will. I connected through Amy Thompson, who called me to a seminar where I connected to Amy, who connected me to Eric. It was a sister from Africa, but she's in Texas, Dr. Grace Kuitira. Then from there, it's just a stretch of, connecting. From Amy to Eric, and it's Kat, it's Will, there's Janet Lopez on the crew, on the podcast.
That's awesome.
And then the amazing one that shocked me, Debbie Peckins. Debbie, she's going to interview me already. We have a date on the 9th of March. And it's like, okay, Lord, okay, thank you. This is really happening.
Yeah.
And then now David is going to already. Okay,
Which
he's
David?
going to,
Which David?
David, the love, peace, love, and bring about. Already, he's going to announce the date of our podcast, so we're good. And the next one, Tina sent me a message as well. Okay, it's happening. So I just want to tell people that there is a way is doing it, and it's happening. Oh, and then we connected with Will. What a moment of coaching online. What a beautiful soul. And he gave me tips, and he gave me tips, and he gave me tips of leadership. And, when we're finalizing the book, I'm finalizing my other book, mine alone, on Power to Lead with Integrity. So he gave me beautiful tips on finalizing and references. And like, this is what you get when you're a member of Easy Way. So for those who really want to join us, I'm an ambassador. I'm not just selling my product, I'm showing it that this is what the Easy Way does for you. I mean, if I was in the US, I saw you guys live on the red carpet. I saw you interviewing other people. And, You know, last night I was moderating in Clubhouse in one of the biggest rooms by Manny Fernandez. So I'm a moderator there. And who showed up? Who's always coming in? Glenn Moshawa. And one thing he just said again to us is that the celebrity that you are looking up to and looking for is you.
Right.
Is you. So it's time that each and every person takes it up that we are who are those who are going to be a solution to the world and make the change that we want to see in the world. Let me give you my last quote and give it back to you, and you can wrap it up. So this is a quote I wrote last year. I'm a creative writer on LinkedIn as well. Power of networking is the great give and get seed to your positive wealth of relationships and knowledge. It's a treasury that offers one a global virtual citizenship and influence. That's for me, isn't it, that we are today? I didn't know this was going to happen this way. Really, we are global citizens and we give and take from networking. Networking is not about coming and grabbing and seeing who can I climb through, who can I leverage on. We give and we get. Thank you. Thanks, Kat, for this
Thank
moment.
you. I love that. And I truly echo those sentiments. I think it's important to have discernment too in who you're working with and to validate, like, who are they and are they who they say they are? Because there's a lot of people that aren't, right? So and we planned this kind of last minute just the other day, and we made it happen. Like, nobody needs to sleep, guys. You can make it happen online. But sister, I love you and thank you for joining me today. I know you wanted to do a little sisterhood toast, and for everybody that joined us and who's going to watch the replay, thank you. And thank you to the Easy Way family who joined us on Facebook and all of our friends and family as well. So do you want to end it with our toast? We're drinking water, guys.
Oh yes. Water is going to turn into wine. We're going to turn this water into wine. We declare the greatest sisterhood fire with love, with prosperity, good health, and good money, good relationships, good love, good health, everything that is good.
Everything.
To us.
To us.
To the world.
And to the world. Cheers.
And to the Easyway family. Easyway family. Oh, yes.
Easyway.
Cheers, Easyway. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.